Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today we are going to be looking at issue 32 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine, the Partworks magazine from Hachette Publishing in association with Games Workshop. This magazine comes out every week, priced at $7.99, and always comes with cover products from Games Workshop. I get mine in a batch once a month because I am a subscriber, and this is the second issue from my current batch. The issue includes an apothecary, a Primaris Apothecary, which is a very cool miniature. So let's have a little look at him. I've literally just opened the pack, so obviously not assembled or anything yet, but this is what you get. This is a cool miniature. I don't have one of these yet, so it was quite nice to get one of these. First of all, let's get my mini moan out of the way. My mini moan is that when I first started subscribing to Conquest magazine, I always got my issues in boxes. As the subscription has gone on, they have changed to using poly bags. So you now get your 4 issues bundled up in a poly bag with no protection or anything. In previous issues, this has meant that I had one pot of paint that had been bumped and the lid had almost popped off. It didn't, but it could have led to me receiving a bag of paint in the post. And in this particular issue, we've got a lot of very, I'm going to put that to one side so you can see it properly, very, very small details. Very small components here, very, very fragile, some of them. And you can see that the needle did get, you can see where the plastic color has changed. That's from stress damage, from where something was pressing down on that plastic and bending it when it didn't want to bend. Obviously it hasn't broken, and it's very, very minor, and like I say, it's a minor grumble, but I do foresee the potential for more significant damage to these components if they're just coming through the post in plastic bags. So when you get, if you subscribe to the magazine, always give your sprues a check, even if you're not going to build them straight away, just to make sure nothing has been damaged, because you see things like this, the little ropes and things, very, very thin. Games Workshop miniatures aren't as fragile as a lot of people believe. You can sort of, I've bounced them off of stone tiles and things before now, and they have survived. But under pressure in the post, and you know what the postal system can be like, there is always a risk. But anyway, this is an apothecary, and it comes with a cool detail that you put on the base to make a scenic base. It's a dead marine. He's removing the gene seed, I guess. Yeah, very cool. I think this is one of the most intricate and detailed miniatures that they have provided with the magazine so far. I mean, we are at issue 32, so that is to be expected, but this is a significant step up, I think, even from... I mean, when the magazine first started, they were the push-fit kits that you get, the easy build kits. They've gradually introduced more complicated kits and vehicles and things like that, things that are on multiple frames, things that have customizable options. But I would say this is the fiddliest kit because it's got so many small components, and it's got little bits that you can add on. There's different guns, different backpack mounts and things like that. Lots of different options and lots of little fiddly diddly bits that you're gonna have to be careful getting those out of the sprue. So this is a significant step up, and it had to happen sooner or later. But yeah. Definitely a step up from previous miniatures, I would say. Also, a step up in value here. The retail price of an apothecary without any, I think you can get like a Death Watch apothecary, which has got like an extra frame of Death Watch specific accessories, but the basic apothecary is £22.50. Obviously, the magazine costs $7.99, so that is a massive saving of £14.51 over the retail price of this miniature. And in addition to that saving, you also get the magazine as well, which is pretty cool. Here is the magazine, and here is the assembled apothecary, looking very stern. So what have we got? Not surprisingly, you open it up, we've got a bit about apothecaries and what they do, and that's just horrible. That's a vile image to open the magazine on. Thank you for that, Hachette Publishing. But yeah, so we've got background stuff about the apothecaries. all these glands and things. This is all about what they do. This is the narthicium. I think I pronounced that correctly. The thing that the apothecaries wear, which has got all their little different. It's a weapon and a healing device. And then we've got this little breakdown of some of the different armatures they can have on their backs and things that they do. Oh, look at that, and then a more detailed look at their different bits and bobs. All nicely painted up as well. And then we have In the Depth of the Hive. Location, Infested Hive City. Deathwatch Forces. Aquila Kill Team Bolvar. Xenos Forces. Genestealer Cultists and Hybrid Mutants. This is it's actually a little bit of fiction. So they've done this in a few issues. They've done little short stories, just sort of scene setting things. And yeah, this is just a 2-page thing. Obviously focusing on the exploits of an apothecary during this particular battle. The little bits of fiction are pretty cool. Nice, they're obviously very short little things you can read. I guess they're aimed at this magazine is aimed at new players, but also younger players, I would say. So they keep things like the fiction things quite short, so little blasts of stuff that, you know, fun to read. I kind of think it would be nice if maybe they could introduce a larger story broken up across the magazines. That might be something nice to have. Just a few pages of an ongoing narrative. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know whether that's going to happen or not. It would also be an interesting way to get people to carry on subscribing to the magazine because they want to know what happens in the story next. But anyway, how to build. This is the bit where we find out how to put our Primaris Apothecary together. Very good instructions, Games Workshop standard instructions, where you have the yellow bit showing you where to apply glue, because obviously this isn't an easy build kit. This is a very complicated kit with customizing options, and you can see anything marked in green is an optional assembly. Obviously down here we've got our clipper and glue safety instructions, because they can't miss those out. And then we've got, there you go, so you've got the different weapon options and things that you can wing on him, different armatures. So yeah, it's definitely it's got a little bit more going on than a lot of the other miniatures that people will have assembled up to this point if they've just been experiencing Warhammer 40k through this particular magazine. And then we get to the painting section. Now, I don't think that they've given us enough paints and things to really do justice to the level of detail on the apothecary miniature. So what they always do in this magazine is they will show you how to use the colours they've given you on that particular miniature, and if you haven't got enough miniatures to finish the miniature, it says we'll come and revisit this miniature later on when we've given you some more paint and you can add on some additional details. Almost certainly that's what they're going to do with this miniature, because there's just a lot going on with it. There's a lot of different details, little twiddles and diddles. So base coating in Celestra Grey, applying the Mephiston Red. And yeah, so they're just going through, it's basically just laying down the different base coats, different base colours. Abaddon Black, Retribute's Armour. Then we've got the section on painting details. In different metals and things. And then we've got, here we go, base coats complete. So this is what you've got once you've applied all of your solid base coat colours. Basically up to the standard of pre-painted, a lot of different pre-painted miniatures you can get. And then we apply shades. Shades are instant detailing. They go into the recesses, they make everything pop, they just make everything better, everything look more detailed and more realistic. Look, it mutes colours, so really bold, bright colours get toned down, knocked down a bit, and it just all round. It's liquid talent a lot of the time with shades. I use a lot of shading. And then they've applied the Astrogranite texture paint on the base. And that is what they have ended up with. I mean, that's okay, but there's still more that can be done to it. Now this is interesting. They're obviously acknowledging the fact that this is probably one of the fiddliest miniatures they've given to date, with very, very small details and little overlapping bits and bobs. So they've actually done a page on fixing mistakes, like if you overpaint stuff. Like if you've gone over with your Mephiston red and stuff, you can go back over with your Celestial grey. I'm not sure they necessarily needed to spell that out. You know, if you've spilt some of your red paint over your grey and go back over the red with your grey is pretty obvious, but maybe the importance of this particular page isn't so much in telling you how to fix the mistakes, which is, you know, if you've gone over a paint with a different paint, go back over that paint with the original paint. It's pretty straightforward. But I think the importance of this page is just to let people know that it's okay to make those mistakes, that you shouldn't beat yourself up if you're painting details and you accidentally get a bit of paint somewhere that it shouldn't go. It happens to everybody. There's nobody in the world that hasn't accidentally touch their brush against a bit of the miniature that they weren't supposed to do at some point and have to go back over and touch up. That's just part of the process. And yeah, I think that's just an important thing particularly for new people that are coming into the hobby. Maybe this is their first, you know, go at painting miniatures. It's just to go, it's okay. You can make mistakes and they're easy to rectify, and don't sweat it. It's okay. Anywho, with any minor errors touched up, make sure to go back over them with shade if necessary. It hasn't done a little splurge here. Normally at the end of it they do a little splurge saying we will revisit this model in a later issue, but I don't think they have said that. No, I'm sure they will. There's much more to be done on that miniature. Although obviously it's fine tabletop quality as is. And then we've got a new mission, Honor Thy Fallen. So this is going to be a mission introducing the up. The pages are stuck together. Hold on a moment. I'm just going to slit this open. There'll be a jump cut. And we're back. So I've just separated that. I've hashed it up as well. Did a rough job of it. But anyway, here we go. Recover the gene seeds. So we've got a mission. We've got Zone A and Zone B. Place 5 objective markers. The Space Marine player places the first objective, then the Death Guard player, and so on. Objectives can be set up anywhere on the map. 6 inches from an edge, 6 inches from another objective. At the end of the enemy turn, the Apothecary or Putrefier can collect an objective marker in base contact. They cannot collect an objective if they fell back this battle round or are within 1 inch of an enemy. Each objective removed is worth 3 victory points. So I guess this is scooping up dead Marines off the battlefield. Yeah. You will need 5 objective markers to represent the fallen Space Marines that litters across the battlefield. So it's a race between the Apothecary and the Putrefier to gather up the bodies. Ah, nice. And here we have the datasheet for the Primaris Apothecary, which is very nice. Nice to have that included. With all the different weapon options there, the Absolver bolt pistol, the Reductor pistol, frag and crack grenades, and all of the special abilities, including the instructions on how to use the Narthicium. Nice! And obviously nothing on the back page because you don't want to have to separate that out and have a bit of your mission on the back of your data sheet, so that's cool. And there we have it. That is that. We'll do a quick look at what is coming next. If you saw the last issue, you know that the next issue, if you saw my last video, I should say, you will know that the next issue will be including the thermic pipes, and the issue after that we will be getting new Death Guard villains. We're actually getting a set of 3. We've got the Malignant Plague Caster, the Blightbringer, and a Captain Hero type character. with a little cute buzzy fly. These are the miniatures that came in the Dark Imperium starter set. So that will be a frame from the Dark Imperium starter set. But we will talk about that another time, because for now, as always, I'm going to do a running total here. We will have the total cost of subscribing to the magazine to date versus the total cost of purchasing everything that's come with the magazine at retail. I'm not factoring in any online discounts or anything like that. I am not factoring in the cost of the magazine itself. This is literally just price to subscribe versus price at retail of the cover products, which hopefully some people will find helpful. But that is it from me for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.